Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me tonight on Red's View. It is Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen, 8:30. Well, going on 8:30. I started a little bit early, but I'm here as promised every Tuesday. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/Red's View. You know how we do it always do it this time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, man. Hopefully everybody has been having a good week so far. I know it's just the beginning still, but it's Tuesday. But hey, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover. And I hope everybody has been in good health. It's a lot that has been going on, man, in this industry. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining me, man. And again, hit that alert button and hit the like button. Please hit the like button and hit the alert button so you can get the notifications. And then liking helps the algorithm. Also, commenting helps the algorithm of the videos. Everybody will ask, how can I support the show? How can I support the show? Besides subscribing, please, if you like the video, make sure you like it, or you can hit the dislike button. That helps the algorithm in the YouTube universe, whatever you want to call it. All right. So also before I begin this show, man, I have to send deepest condolences to the family of Irish Grinstead of 702. I didn't do my show last week because I had a lot of stuff going on, but I said RIP on social media, but I didn't get a chance to give her the proper RIP on Red's View. So shout out to Irish Grinstead of 702, man. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Grew up watching 702, rocking with them, love their songs and everything like that, man. So it's unfortunate. I think she had some health complications. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but she died last weekend, I believe. Beautiful, beautiful. She was so fine back then, man. I had a crush on her growing up, but yeah, man, so unfortunate. She was young, think she was like in her 40s. So RP to Irish Grinstead of 702. Then we have to send a shout out to Crazy Bone, Pray for Cray. For those who are subscribed to the channel or the new subscribers, shout out to all of y'all. But I did a video talking about Crazy Bone yesterday. If you've been hiding under a rock, you know he's been dealing with health complications. He's hospitalized right now. And contrary to popular belief, I don't think he's in as critical condition as the media is reporting it. Because if you watched my show yesterday or the episode that I put up yesterday, I talked about his brother-in-law actually said that a lot of what was being reported is cap. So he's having a recovery. I'm not sure exactly how he's doing, but his brother-in-law posted today and said that he's doing better, and they can't wait to share the good news of how he's recovering. Now, Lazy Bone did post something today as well. He broke his silence and said, just keep praying, praying. I also talked to a couple of other people that know Crazy personally, and they just said, keep praying. So we're praying for a speedy recovery from my favorite rapper. And as you can see, I got the Creeping on the Come Up shirt. You see? I got this a while ago, but in the TL, right here, yeah, TL. That's the line, I mean the Life. It used to be called Thug Line, but the Life. That's his record label / clothing company. So shout out to Crazy, man. Shout out to Crazy Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's recovering. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we need to talk about. The main topic of today's show is Usher, baby, Usher Raymond. Now, I'm asking this question, and feel free to join in. Subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. But I want you to comment on this. This is the question I've been wanting to know. And I want this answer. Y'all let me know how you feel about this, because I feel like Usher is the current king of R&B. Is Usher Raymond the current king of R&B? Now, why am I saying that at all times right now? Well, in case you've been hiding under a rock, you should know that Usher announced that he will be performing at next year's Super Bowl 2024, at the halftime show. Shout out to Go 816. Yes, sir. Pray for Cray. You already know what it is, man. Go. Did you check out my video that I posted about Cray yesterday? I don't know if you did or not, but it's been nothing but bone love on there. So go check that out. But yeah, man, is Usher the current king of R&B? Now, I'm asking that, of course, because he announced that he's performing at the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is as high as you can go, outside of winning a Grammy, outside of having a diamond album, multi-platinum album, um, and then of course your own people showing their gratification towards you and coming to your shows and coming up to you saying that your music inspired them to create music, also stop them from committing suicide and just all that stuff, right? Got them through tough times, a breakup, that reality stuff, right? So do you think that this solidifies Usher as the current king of R&B? Now, of course, some people are going to bring up Chris Brown. I don't think Chris Brown. See, this is the thing. It's like Usher. I was just talking to my homeboy today. Shout out to Coop. We was chopping it up, and we was talking about how Usher, uh, he goes through different like the generations. He's my I'm a millennial. So when I was a kid, that's when Usher was coming up. He first came out of what, 94, and everybody didn't know him like that, but then eventually My Way came out. My Way, he was a teenager, and then by 8701 and then Confessions, he became a man. So he's been doing this thing for a minute, almost 30 years now, if not 30 years. Yeah, 2024 is going to be 30 years. So yeah, is Usher Raymond the current king of R&B? What you say, GOAT? Of course, I did. Great video statement. Yeah, man. He's recovering. He's recovering for sure. But yeah, with Usher, the halftime show. This is big, impactful, monumental, man, because Usher has so many hits and he deserves this spot. I'm so happy that Usher will be performing like the greats on the stage with the greats. You have Beyonce perform. You've had Michael Jackson, of course, Prince, Rihanna. But Usher has always been, we know he's a superstar, and they're doing it in Vegas. So why not get Usher to do it in Vegas? Because his Vegas residency has been going off the wall. But anyway, people mainly compare Usher to Chris Brown or Chris Brown to Usher. But the thing is, I feel like Chris Brown is more so for millennials on down, not millennials on up, I want to say. And when I say up, millennials all the way to Generation X, baby boomers, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like my mama likes Usher stuff. I don't know if she likes Chris Brown stuff. Not saying that baby boomers don't listen to Chris Brown, but as far as Usher, who else? Who else could be considered the current king of R&B if it's not Usher? You know, Usher has been doing it. He has the longevity. He's still relevant. Been killing it out in Vegas. Now, of course, he doesn't put out the platinum albums anymore, but he still has been able to squeeze out some kind of hit within every decade of R&B that he's been out. You know, in the 90s, he had a hit or hits. Early 2000s, he had hits. Mid 2000s, he had hits. And then I think the last hit he had probably was with Summer Walker, I want to say. Um, yeah, it's kind of by default to me. He hadn't had a great second half of his career. I need another solid album. Yeah. That's the thing, man. I think that Usher, he got a new album that's coming out when the Super Bowl happens. And I think it's called Coming Back Home or something. So I'm very, very excited to see what he got going on. But I'm saying, like, who else would it be as far as the longevity? Because you could bring up Chris Brown, and Chris Brown has been doing it for at least what, 20 years now, I want to say. But Usher has been doing it longer and is still relevant, still looking young. And he's always been able to do what he is expected to do, which is entertain. And even though I feel like he had a nosedive musically after Confessions, he's still been in the conversation and still has remained in his superstar status. So, yeah, now, GOAT, I agree with you, but he said the real king is in jail, to be honest. He's in prison. And I agree with you. But when I say current king, you're not in jail and you're still out making music. The king who's in prison right now isn't making any music. So, of course, people will bring up R. Kelly. That's who I'm referring to. Now, I feel like keep in the sense I'm talking about current king, meaning you're still putting out music, you're still touring, you're still doing shows, all that. R. Kelly isn't touring or nothing. That man is in jail. So with Usher, I feel like the only other male R&B artist, pop artist that you would say would be Chris Brown, Don't bring up Justin Timberlake. Don't even do that. But I'm saying, if not Usher, who else? And I think that this Super Bowl performance is really going to solidify and cement his legacy, as if he's already been cemented, right? Like Confessions is his Thriller. Confessions is a diamond album, and Usher has so many hits. I can't wait. I'm so anxious to see him at the Super Bowl. Like I don't think I've been this excited for a Super Bowl performance since I can't remember. I can't remember the last Super Bowl. Since Dr. Dre, Snoop, and them. Um, I forgot about that. But other than them, this is gonna be the one that I'm very excited about. But I feel like ain't nobody touching Usher when you're talking about the longevity and the relevancy as of right now, because I feel like still he could squeeze out a hit. I'm not saying he could squeeze out a platinum album, because I know the R&B game has changed, but Usher still sounds relevant, man. And you got artists sampling his music now, so Usher is there. I feel like Usher is there, and he's definitely skilled. Let me see if I'm live on Facebook. Am I live on Facebook? I just got a notification. Let me see if yeah, I'm live on Facebook. But yeah, man. Also, if you're watching this on Twitter, make sure that you retweet. I know Goat 816, you always do that for me. But yeah, retweet this, share this, and all that stuff. But yeah, man. Like I said, if anybody who is watching right now disagrees with me, you bring up someone else who is out of jail and is putting out music, putting out albums currently that is on Usher's level. Now I know you've had like Bruno Mars perform at the Super Bowl and different things like that. And of course, Beyonce is up there. She's compared to Michael Jackson, but she's a female. But male R&B king is male. So who else is the king? I feel like Usher got it, man. Usher has the albums for it. Like he got a couple of classics, in my opinion. My Way and Confessions, right? Then some people can consider 8701 a classic. I don't know, but I feel like My Way for sure, and I feel like Confessions for sure. So you said that's why I said by default there's no R&B dudes anymore, especially the ones that have mass appeal. You're right, and there's no superstars anymore. I've been talking about this too. There are no more male R&B stars, let alone superstars, right? I think Trey Songz probably is the last male R&B, like, and I'm talking about the traditional R&B star, like that had a straight up R&B album, not no pop stuff or nothing like that. Because he don't really, Trey Songz didn't really go with the whole pop thing like Chris Brown and Usher does. Trey Songz was that traditional type of R&B that we heard. Now I'm not saying he's the best singer, but Ready would be considered a classic in the urban R&B community. So I don't think there's anybody else that really is on Usher, because Usher does traditional R&B. He can go pop, techno, EDM, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing he hasn't touched, from my understanding, is maybe country. But like I agree with Goat 816. By default, you got to give it to Usher. And like I said, man, if there's anybody who you feel isn't or you feel that is on the level or better than Usher, if you're talking about R&B, let me know. Because the only reason I wouldn't give it to Chris Brown is because Chris Brown feels like he's for millennials on down, versus Usher is for millennials on up. Now, of course, does Usher have fans that are not millennials and that are younger? Absolutely, definitely. Does Chris Brown have older fans as well? Yeah, but I think the difference is Chris Brown doesn't have that classic album like Usher does. I said it on my show, and I know some people gonna disagree with it, but to me, like Charlamagne was saying today, I was watching Usher's interview on the Breakfast Club. If Chris Brown and Usher had a versus, Usher has nuclear bombs, nuclear missiles that could go towards Chris Brown. Chris Brown, for the most, like, well, I ain't gonna say for the most, but for a portion of his career, his was that kind of puppy love type of songs. It's never a right time to say goodbye. Like his was that kitty type of stuff until, after the Rihanna thing happened. I feel like he started making more mature songs. Usher was making mature songs since he came out. Honestly, Usher was a child, but he wasn't a child star. Chris Brown was a teenage star. Usher was talking about Nice and Slow. When My Way came out, he was singing about adult stuff. And I think that's why his appeal, resonated with the, people that are older than him. Plus, we grew up wanting to be like Usher. You know what I'm saying? So like I think Usher has the best of both worlds, and I don't think Chris Brown has that. So you said I fuck with Bobby V and the Dream. That's the R&B dudes. I like, yeah, me too. That traditional R&B sound. But yeah, he's the king. I think he's the king. And this Super Bowl halftime performance, like I said, that's the highest you can go outside of Diamond album, multi-platinum album, um, you know, what world tours, Grammys, like Super Bowl. That's the time where everybody worldwide is going to be looking at you, because that's the most, you don't even get paid from the Super Bowl performance because of the advertisements. Like everybody's going to be watching you, the streams that you're going to get, the album sales that you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how big the Super Bowl is, where for one night, people perform everywhere in the world, even on live television. But for one night, everybody's eyes are glued to that halftime performance. People don't even watch the Super Bowl, but they'll watch the halftime performance. So, man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Usher. You said you ain't start listening to Breezy until he started cussing. Hey, I mean, now Chris Brown has some songs that I was rocking with. Like I like Yo. I liked a couple of songs back then, but to me, he felt kind of kiddie until he did start cussing. When he leaned into the rap side, that's when I feel like he started appealing to me more. Because like the songs like Deuces, No BS, No Bullshit, those are the songs that I rock with Chris Brown the most. But he didn't start doing that till a little later. Usher, like I said, he came out the gate with Jermaine Dupri writing for him, and it wasn't like he was trying to appeal to the teenagers. He was trying to appeal to the women, not the little girls, the women. And it felt like Chris Brown wasn't trying to appeal to the women. He was trying to appeal to his people in his age group, which, from my understanding, wasn't his fault. He actually wanted to do what Usher did, but yeah, and that's another thing. Like you were saying, Go 816. There are no more stars. Who was the last R&B male R&B star, even female R&B star? We don't have them anymore. Now everybody feels like they're on like the medium level. Nobody feels like they're a superstar anymore. And Usher still has that. So that's what I feel. Again, let me know in the comments section how you feel about that. So that's what I say about that. Let's move on. So Joe Biden, your boy Joe Biden. Now I say this: Joe Biden purposely called LL Cool J boy. That's how I feel. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Did you see Joe Biden? I'm not sure what he was speaking at, but he gave a speech and he called LL Cool J boy. I feel like it was intentional. Let's watch it to make sure that I ain't tripping. All right, fair use.
Of our time, representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's.
Oh, let's go back.
For the great artists of our time, representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's.
All right, now I can go ahead and tell you right here, right now, that's deeply rooted in racism. Jim Crow Joe strikes again. That's right, I said it. Jim Crow Joe strikes again. That's Jim Crow Joe Biden. He purposely called him that. Well, now listen when I say purposely. Did he make a mistake by doing it? Slightly. What I'm saying is he looks at us as boys. That's what he did. That's his regular conversation. So it slipped out. And if he did it truly by accident, he wouldn't have corrected himself if it was just how he talked. Because you got a lot of people over here talking about, and I saw MC Light defend it, but they talking about something, that's just probably just how he talks. Boy, he was trying to be hip. No. Anytime a white person says boy, we know what that derives from and what that meant during slavery. So what I saw was a regular suspected white supremacist who is just talking about a black man, which he looks at as a boy. And it slipped out. That's why he had to say boy, man, boy, man. If it really was a mistake, he just Or if it really was just natural, he just would have said boy and just kept it going. But he knew that it wasn't right. See what I'm saying? You got to really pay attention to that. And like I said, it's deeply rooted in racism because that's what white men consider us now. And most importantly, back in slavery and Jim Crow, that's what they looked at us as. They didn't look at black men as men because that would be their equal. They looked at us as boys. That's what they would call us. What you doing over there, boy? Hey, boy, who you calling boy? You a boy. You know, that's what. So Jim Crow drove, and this isn't his first time. A lot of people were surprised and shocked and all this other stuff. Breakfast Club did a segment about it, and I wasn't surprised at all because I feel strongly that Joe Biden is racist. Like it's evident. Come on, man. He was part of the crime bill, the 1994 crime bill, and he has a history of racism pretty much. And I'm not about to spend a whole lot of time breaking down every single thing, but nobody can tell me that man didn't purposely say boy. Now, of course, he got LL Cool J's name all mixed up, and they were talking about that was he was trying to read the teleprompter. Is Joe Biden old and can't really read as good as he reads and all that stuff? Absolutely. But how do you explain him calling him boy? You know what I'm saying? Like, who talks like that? Yeah, I'm telling you, that boy, he wasn't trying to be hip. Because if he was trying to be hip, there would have been no reason for him to correct himself midway. He knew what he was doing. It just slipped out like, damn, that boy, that man, yeah, that boy sounded like he wanted to call him a buck. And that's how they did on the plantation back then. Or the slave auction. They would be saying, yeah, that boy over there, that buck, that boy, yeah, boy, he's strong, isn't he? He's strong. He got muscles. Yeah, he could lift some weight. He could lift some cotton and build. That's how they looked at us as animals at a slave auction. That's what it looked like, and that's what it sounded like to me. But Goat, you said don't see this as racist. He's just old and doesn't know his names. It sounded like they call other white dudes boy. Listen, man, you can believe that all day. I highly disagree. Judging from Joe Biden's past, I don't think that that's true. Like I said, had he just said boy and not said man, how come he said man? Go 816. Let me know. Why did he say man? Why did he correct himself? If he just saying boy, there shouldn't be an issue. Now, of course, we still would have made a complaint about it and talked about it and stuff like that, but he stopped it midway. And if he's that old, his mind ain't thinking that fast to be like, oh, okay, I think he knew what he was doing. Or like I said, it slipped up and he had to correct himself right then and there. But I think it was racial for sure. And a lot of people give him leeway. You know what I'm saying? People be giving him leeway. Like I said, MC Light defended it, all that stuff. But I don't believe it. I believe strongly that he is racist or a suspected racist. I'll say that. He's a suspected white supremacist. But Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, you're not slick. Jim Crow Joe, you are not slick. And I don't believe it. You said you didn't hear him say man. Can I play it one more time? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Let me go back. Listen closely. Listen closely.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thigh.
You see? That boy, that man, he corrected himself like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if it wasn't that big of a deal, he just would have said boy, and it would have been a natural way how he talks. So that's why I call it cap. But anyway, let me know in the comments what y'all think about it. Am I tripping? I don't know. Let me know how you feel. But I feel like strongly it was racist. I feel like he purposely did that, and it is what it is. All right. Let me move on, man. This is an interesting topic right here. Charlemagne versus Drake. And if you're reading this, it says artists can't handle constructive criticism. Now, why do you say that, J Red? Well, what happened was Charlemagne commented on the track that SZA and Drake dropped. He commented about it. Okay, Goat, you said you heard it exactly. But yeah, Charlemagne commented about it and said that he didn't feel the buzz around this Drake track. I forgot the name of the track that Drake and SZA dropped, but I heard it and it really wasn't appeasing to me. Like for the album to be called For the Dogs or For My Dogs, whatever it's called, I was expecting like maybe a street banger or something like that, but instead we got a SZA record. I guess people were waiting on it, and you know, it wasn't a bad song, but it wasn't worth being talked about. Charlemagne expressed that. I was paraphrasing what he said, but Charlemagne expressed why, like, it wasn't too much buzz. Oh, Slime You Out. Exactly. It's called Slime You Out. And the internet wasn't talking about it. The internet was not talking about it. Now he's saying that he's not worried because Drake will probably chart and Drake is going to do what he'll be fine. But, you know, it's true. Like I didn't hear nobody talking about it. Like I listened to it. DJ PM sent it to me and I heard it and I told him, I'm like, it ain't really nothing I like about this. And he's like, I feel it too. It's a dud. So Drake fired back and started sharing different like stuff about Charlemagne in his post, talking about he's a low budget Morris Chestnut or whatever the case may be. And then Charlemagne talked about it on the Breakfast Club and on Monday, yesterday. And he was basically saying, like, I'm a part of Drake's album rollout. We got this thing together where we talk about this stuff, and I help promote his music, which DJ PM and the other lady felt like it was cap. The other young lady felt like it was cap. But the thing is, let's say figuratively speaking, if Charlemagne, like Drake really did get upset with Charlemagne because he said Charlemagne's always on his nuts, whatever. I thought they were cool after the Big Mill beef. But anyway, figuratively speaking, let's say that Drake is very mad at Charlemagne for critiquing his music. Why can't we, as content creators, people in the media, or regular fans, express how we feel about music on social media? How come now we can express how we feel about the Dallas Cowboys losing? A lot of people hate the Dallas Cowboys. We could talk about how they want LeBron to lose, your favorite team to lose, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to music, it feels like artists these days cannot handle constructive criticism. And I bring this up also because Cardi B and Joe Budden got into it. Trading shots back. Well, not I ain't gonna say trading shots, but Joe Budden said that he didn't like Cardi B and Megan's single Bongos, and I agree with him. It wasn't good. It wasn't a trash song. Some people called it trash, but with the success of WAP and all that other stuff, I didn't really think that was too much of a good song either. But that was better than this. But Bongos came and went. I don't listen to the radio, but I haven't been seeing it like a heavy presence on social media. When WAP came out, I saw that everywhere. But Cardi B had something to say to Joe Budden about it. And I want these artists to know it ain't a thing to where people are out to get you. Do you have haters out there? Yeah. But a lot of times, man, it's just people. What about the song just isn't good? It's not living up to the expectations of who you are or what you put out. If something is not good, it's just not good. And you can't say somebody is hating on you because the first thing people do, Joe Budden is hating, Charlemagne is hating, all this stuff. Man, how about you take your ass to the studio and do your job and try to make music to appeal to everybody? That's what an artist's job is. And if some people don't like it, hey, man, everybody ain't going to like it. At least you tried. But I think really it's the fact that Drake didn't get the buzz he thought that it was going to create from the SZA track. That's pretty much what it was. So you said, I think the tempo is what people are throwing out because, like you said, yeah. I mean, it was that, you know what I'm saying? But you said it's a very mannish song. Yeah, probably. But yeah, the tempo, it didn't catch you. It didn't catch you. Like I heard it and was like, okay, what's the quote part that, that people are going to be saying? I think the only buzz that track got was him saying, have you in chains like you my slave or something like that. And I saw that's another thing I didn't get to talk about last week. People were talking about Drake saying stuff about slavery, he ain't from America and all that. I'm like, that's fake outrage. Listen, man, Drake these days, stop the cap. If he came out at this point in his career and say he was a Trump supporter, people would still support him. He's too cemented in. The man has been getting away with being a quote unquote culture vulture his whole career. He's not from America. And I'm not trying to call Drake a culture vulture, but some people could feel that he is. He's a Canadian that came in and I feel like this. Drake, Aubrey Graham isn't Drake. Aubrey Graham plays the Drake character when it comes to recording. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's got this far with being who he is and all this other stuff. So people had that fake outrage. But like I said, man, how come artists can't handle the constructive criticism anymore? I blame social media, man. It's social media. Yeah, Drake probably was hearing a lot of people talk about it, saying, expressing their dislike for the song, and then Charlamagne put the icing on the cake. But my message to these artists, because I know some of you watch this platform as well. If we do these album reviews, you put this music out for people to judge. And now that we got social media, you're just able to hear what everybody has to say. I put out music. And if y'all don't like it from Red's view, if none of my people, my supporters, my fans, if they don't like it, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I tried my best. I'm going to go back to the drawing board to make sure I make something for y'all, but it has to be for me first. But what I'm not going to do is say that you hating, you washed up, you hating on me, like how they try to do Joe Budden and all this other stuff, because it ain't, the man can have an opinion. Everybody can have an opinion. Now, hating is a different thing, meaning that every time I drop something and I know it's good and you all always have something negative to say about it, then it could be looked at as hating. But come on, man. Drake, Charlamagne ain't the only one who thought that the track wasn't good. I ain't think it was good either. So let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. Now, this is a funny thing right here. Did anybody see that Nicki Minaj video, the weird video, where it looked like she was on the narcotic? Did anybody see that video? I was laughing at this video. Hold on. And I'm not going to play the sound because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But she was on her IG live and, her fans were defending it. She was just having a good time. But look at this. She was dancing to some like reggaeton. Look at her eyes. Look at her body. And it's like, I don't know what she called herself doing. That it's not really dancing. I mean, I know they do that in the Bronx and stuff like that, but just look at her. They were saying she was having fun, but to me, looked like she was on a narcotic. What y'all think? Look where she moving. I wish I could play the sound, because you had some moist dude in the background talking about some, ooh, it's the moves for me. It's the moves for me. So yeah, look at her. Look at her, man. Just she looked like she owns something. Look at this. Oh, now she getting up now. Look. Oh my God. And then she gonna try to twerk. Look at this. And it's her eye. Look at this, man. Look at this. That's your girl, man. Look like she owns something. Yeah, so she kept talking, but yeah, look. And some people say she needs to deflate because all the plastic surgery and stuff like that. But I just had to share that, man. How many of y'all seen that video of Nicki Minaj looking crazy? Do y'all think she looked like she was on something? Or was she just having fun? I know the barbers are gonna be very upset. The barbers hate me. But shout out to Nicki Minaj. Did y'all think that was weird? Or do you think she was just having fun? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about that. All right, man. So I'm gonna talk about this. Did he release that Love album? How many people heard the Love album? I got a chance to listen to it. First of all, it's so many songs on there, way too many songs for my liking. But I got a chance to listen to it. And this is my thing. I didn't really like the album. I expressed that on my Facebook page. I ain't really like it. Like, there's a couple of songs that I really, really do like, but for the majority of it, I really didn't like it. Did he hype this up to be an album bringing back the essence of R&B? Remember, he was saying R&B was dead and it don't have that feeling anymore. This whole album sounded like the R&B that's out. The very Bryson Tiller, Summer Walker sound, Janae Aiko sound. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like what Diddy was promoting. Now, I'm not saying he was trying to bring the 90s back, but that's how he was promoting it as. The only songs that I felt something from was the one, let me look them up real quick. So there's one that Mary J. Blige did. It's called I Like. I love that song. The sample on there, sample one of my favorite tracks favorite R&B tracks ever, and that's that Goodbye Love by Guy. That's a real good song. Y'all should check it out. And then what's the other one? I don't, it's Casey and JoJo. I mean, not Casey and JoJo, but KC's on it. I think yeah, Stay Part One, with featuring Jeremiah, Kalen, for real, and Casey Haley from Casey and JoJo, from Joe to see Casey and JoJo. I like that song. Everything else, if you're a fan of the current R&B, this is the album for you. If you're somewhat okay with it, I mean, this may not be the album. But my thing is, I'm criticizing Diddy because you made an album that sounded like everything that's out right now, but you did it in your way. So I really wasn't feeling it. I was expecting to get that essence back. It didn't do it for me, except for a couple of tracks. So come on, Diddy, you got to do a better job than that. Goat, you said your cousin said it was good. I mean, yeah, some people have said that it's good, but the thing is, when I expressed my opinion about it on Facebook, folks were saying I was tripping. What I asked them was, and I know you watching, I said, okay, if it's that good of an album, give me 5 songs that you've had on repeat since then. And you know what everybody was doing? Deflecting. They weren't telling me the songs. It took a while to get them out of them. They couldn't even name the songs. DJ PM was like, I mean, it just came out. Nah, because I can tell you, songs that come out, I mean, albums that come out, like Nas's albums that be dropping every year, I can name you songs that I love from his project, because if I like the project or not. Like King's Disease 3, I had on repeat, and I can name you 5+ songs. Really, it was the whole album. But if an album is good, you're going to be able to name me the tracks that you like from it. So if you disagree with me and you said that you like the album, don't go to your playlist real quick to see which ones. You should know off the dome what it was, like what the songs are. That's how you know if it's good or not. So, but I give Diddy an A for effort, I guess. But, I can say he got a lot of artists on here that was interesting. I mean, he had Justin Bieber, Jasmine Sullivan, Ty Dolla $ign, Mary J. Blige. He had some of the old school and new school people on here, but I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. Besides those 2 songs, Stay Part 1, and then I really like that song, those songs. All right, let me move on, man. I got a question. I want to know. I wanted to talk about this last week, but I want to know, did Sexy Red take Glorilla's spot? Did Sexy Red take Glorilla's spot? Now, what are you talking about, J Red? What are you talking about? Hear me out. So, Glorilla comes out. And she's popping. She's that ratchet hood girl. All for the ratchets. She didn't look like a star per se. She looked like a regular hood chick. And and she was, I liked some of her songs, you know what I'm saying? But she had that, like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and City Girls, a lot of them created that sexual type of music, twerking, all that stuff. Glorilla came out and was hitting them hard. Even dudes was rocking with her songs. She had a huge buzz. Signed with Yo Gotti was that CMG, that label, and was doing her thing. But Glorilla's been kind of cold in these streets within this year. I've had this conversation before, and I was talking to different people, and I said I didn't know how long she was going to be able to last, because I felt like she could be replaced, and I wasn't wrong. Sexy Red has came out, and it feels like Sexy Red has went higher than what Glorilla has been doing. Because, for a minute, Glorilla was the ratchet princess. Now, Sexy Red done attached what Megan Thee Stallion did and what Glorilla did and made it times 2, because Sexy Red is at Jets games and stuff like that. And now, granted, I do think that, and I've said this before, Sexy Red is getting promoted purposely from the white media, from the white infrastructure to, exploit the image of black women, or change the image of what a black woman is, that all black women are ratchet. And Charleston White said something important. I'm going to play it in a minute. But, to speak about this, did she take Glorilla's spot? Because Glorilla was that ratchet girl. You didn't really see that many ratchet girls who were rappers at that time who had a huge buzz. But Sexy Red then came, and you don't really hear about Glorilla doing stuff like that. I mean, she had Tomorrow too. That's still popping. But what in this day and age, you got to have If you got a hit song to stay on that radar to be hot, you got to keep them coming. I haven't really heard anything that Glorilla has been putting out that has been really getting buzz. You know, she's been dropping singles, but Sexy Red has been dropping singles, and she's that new ratchet princess. Now, could it be? And you know, and then Sexy Red is not even as talented, nowhere near. Sexy Red is not talented, but she's nowhere near where Glorilla was as far as rapping and stuff like that. But I think that she took that spot. Now, it doesn't have to do with talent, but I think it was by force. I think that the you know, Glorilla wasn't really, I mean, she was ratchet, but she wasn't really promoting that toxicity out to black women, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was rapping about regular hood girl stuff. Sexy Red purposely says the nastiest shit that you could think of, the filthiest shit you can think of. And they like to market that as, oh, that's the black woman's, you know, that's the black woman thing. But you say, you don't keep up with either one, but it seems like Glorilla is doing bigger things and seems to be trying to be more than just the flavors of the month. What bigger things is she doing? She's not at Jets games, NFL games. I'm seeing Sexy Red everywhere, taking pictures with Drake. Did she open up for Drake? Like, Sexy Red has just been everywhere. That's what I'm talking about. It feels like she done took over that ratchet girl image and made it even worse than what Glorilla. I mean, Glorilla didn't look bad, but it's like Sexy Red is just, from her attire to what she talk about. You know what I'm saying? It feels like she took what Glorilla did and just went just wild crazy with it. But y'all let me know what you think about that. Do you think that Sexy Red and took her spot? Now, this is something interesting that Charleston White said about Sexy Red. Let me see. Let me pull this up right here. This was real interesting. And this is regarding like what Sexy Red, how she's being promoted. And he's very optimistic of what the outcome will have towards black girls. Listen to this. Fair use, by the way. Shout out to Say Cheese TV.
Crazy, bro. You got to give her flowers, bro. She going crazy.
Yeah, I hate her. Yeah, that's she's delivering a whore spirit amongst young girls. She's introducing. We've had a gangster spirit. The gangster spirit damn near wiped the young black males out. This whole spirit is fit to do a number on the young black girls. And I already got the boys. They never had focus on black girls before. The powers to be, the tools of white supremacy have never just strictly targeted black girls. They first started targeting black girls with imagery, saying, black girl, you're not pretty if you don't have white girl hair. Those were symbolic things that they were doing. Now they're stripping the black girl of the black man had already shamed the black woman's image to the world by way of rap lyrics. Bitch, hoe, suck my dick, pouring beer on her, and the rap videos. So that's why Miss Dolores C. Tucker came out and said, hold up, y'all, this misogyny music. So that's why she came out and did. She saw what it was doing, right? So now we're at a point now, if a black woman is raped, she's going to be questioned compared to a white woman. They're going to automatically think a black girl wants it. So what we're going to start seeing, because of the imagery of Sexy Red, we're going to start back seeing white boys getting drunk, getting their trucks, going back into the black community, snatching up the Sexy Red looking black girl, or booking one prostitute for a Sexy Red. It's going to get ugly on me for the black girl.
All right. So what y'all think about that, man? Is he speaking truth to power? Is he, you know, is he being optimistic? And, you know, do you see that happening? Now, I don't know if it's going to go to that extent, but I mean, she does have an influence. If you're in it, because it, like he said, it happened with the boys already. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I grew up and I watched different gangster rappers do gangster stuff, make gangster music, and play Grand Theft Auto and stuff, that didn't have an influence on me. But it did have an influence on other people. You know what I'm saying? Some of them could be in jail right now. And, I can't sit here and act like, and it's not just rap, of course, it's movies and all that, right? But entertainment definitely can have an impact on the image of black people. You know what I'm saying? So Sexy Red's influence from everything Charleston was saying, I mean, I can't really disagree with what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know if it's going to go to the extent of white boys going into black neighborhoods. They ain't that bold. You know what I'm saying? But it could be a thing to where if a black woman, you know, if Sexy Red is talking about my booty hole brown and just it's just a straight sexual image of the black woman, basically being sexualized, it could make people feel comfortable to approach them that way. That's a reality of what could happen. And it is dangerous. I think it's dangerous how she's being marketed for sure. Because come on, man, like I've been around ratchet chicks, I've been around hood chicks, went to school with them, grew up around them, and a lot they don't act like Sexy Red, always talking about sex. All now, they could be loud, they could be ignorant, they could cuss, all that stuff. But Sexy Red goes overboard with it. Like everything you see with her, is she's talking about sex, STDs, just the filthiest of the filthy that you could think of. And if little girls grow up seeing that, that could have influence on them because social media takes its toll on all of us. Entertainment takes its toll on us. So, I mean, I can't disagree with what Charleston White is saying. I don't think it's a good thing. And what they try to disguise it as is sexual liberation, and men do it too. Because if we criticize what the women do, then they're gonna criticize what the men do. And he already said it. Charleston White hate rappers. That man hate rappers. So it's and from what he's saying is that they've never tried to target black girls, except with like the imagery of like a white doll, black doll type of thing, but purposely trying to target the black girls. I think they've been trying to do it with the twerking and stuff, but this Sexy Red thing is now, of course, this was the thing is Sexy Red an industry plan and all that other stuff. Like I said that I don't think that she's an industry plant, but I do feel like her blow up, they saw her and took the perfect opportunity to exploit her and call that what the black woman is, because black women are not ratchet. And I keep saying that. And I'm going to keep saying, I don't give a fuck how mad people get or whatever. It's like black women aren't ratchet. Are some black women, do they do ratchet things? Yes, but that's not the image of the black woman, but that's how they're trying to portray it. And what's worse is the people that defend that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you have real life Sexy Reds out there? Absolutely. But man, how many hood chicks do you know that are walking around? Hood chicks still want to look pretty. Ratchet chicks still want to look pretty. So a lot of them ain't walking around with tats on their faces and stuff like that. How many women do you know with tats on their faces? How many do you really know with tats on their face? You say, is she really influencing black girls though? I mean, yeah, we don't see the effect of it right now. But in the next couple of years, you can't look at it as the presence, as the present. You got to think about the future. That's why I say, is he being optimistic about it? Because something happens right now, within 5 years, if it keeps going, you'll see the result of it. So yeah, because they were questioning why is she at high schools, why is she pulling up at high schools and stuff. Sexy Red, those are little, I consider high school girls little girls. They're teenagers, but they're girls, they're minors. So that's what he's talking about too. So yeah, that could be influencing black girls, just like the gangster rappers or the trap rappers influencing black boys. So I don't think he's too far off with that. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Did Charleston have a point? I think it is critical, and it is something worth being talked about. And I'm gonna play some more of Charleston White in a second. But this is also what I wanted to talk about right here. Where are my sports fans? Where are my Coach Prime Deion Sanders fans? I want to talk about this. I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, but this past weekend, Oregon played Colorado, and Oregon smoked them. They smoked them, murdered them boys. It was interesting to look at. It was just like, damn, how the mighty have fallen. But I wanted to ask this question because Charleston White, I'm gonna play another video of what he talked about on this Say Cheese interview. Did Deion Sanders? Look, I said Sander. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Let me make sure I put some respect on Mr. Sanders' name. Okay. Did Deion Sanders exploit HBCUs for personal gain? Now, I made a video about this months ago when it revealed that he signed with Colorado and left Jackson State. Y'all know how I feel about that. I feel strongly that he did lie to HBCUs because, well, I ain't gonna say lie. He painted an image like a preacher that he was going to change the landscape of HBCUs, which some feel like he did, but he did more than that. And what Charleston White said stuck out, and I'm glad that Charleston White spoke on it because he speaks on larger platforms. A lot of people came on my neck when I talked about this. Now, I am a graduate of Jackson State University. I'm at liberty to speak on it. And and this isn't a hate Coach Prime thing. Now, Charleston White goes overboard saying that he wants him to fail and all that other stuff. I don't want Coach Prime to fail. I just don't like how he painted this image that he was going to be the savior for HBCUs. But the first opportunity that came to his door, he left out because he made it about him, Coach Prime. It was about Coach Prime the whole time and not about HBCUs. So listen to what Charleston White had to say about this. Hold up. I think this, let me see. This the right one.
And he's making a lot of money.
But let me say this though. If Deion stays real, like you said he should have, are you saying he should have sacrificed his son's career? Because if they would have stayed at Jackson State,
I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying black people still should be supporting HBCUs and not Deion.
Got you.
Because they made it about HBCU when Deion was coaching. Black people, celebrities, and everybody made it about HBCU. They came up with a hashtag. Now, I'm saying they was lying. It wasn't about those black kids. It wasn't about a better school and quality education for HBCUs. It was about Deion Sanders shining.
You got to put a coach in there that's influential too.
Yep. I agree. Thank you, Charleston. I agree. It was about Deion. This whole thing is about Deion being Coach Prime, going to coach at Florida State. That's what I feel like it's about. Now, I'm not mad at that at all. And I support him in doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at Colorado and I saw a lot of different people saying, oh, like especially Ricky Smiley. And people checked him on that. I think he was joking, but he was saying that Colorado's turning into a HBCU. Deion done turned Colorado into a HBCU, and it's like, nah, we don't play that. See, everybody wants to be an HBCU without being an HBCU. They want the HBCU experience without being an HBCU. Everything that's going on there, like with all the celebrities and all that black stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like that's our culture. And it feels like Deion shedded light on the HBCU culture and tried to take that with him to go to Colorado. See, it was iron sharpening iron. Jackson State benefited off Deion. Deion benefited off Jackson State. Those are facts. People trying to act like, ooh, this poor school that nobody knew about. Man, people know about Jackson State. Walter Payton came from Jackson State. Of course, Cortez Bryant, shout out to Cortez Bryant, came from Jackson State. Plenty of people came from Jackson State. Our HBCU's been booming. Now, did we get the national attention that we deserve? No. But Deion did help us get notoriety as far as like ESPN and the ESPN Game Day and stuff like that. But HBCU's been popping. We've been selling out the vet. We've been coming to homecoming, racking in millions of dollars and stuff like that. Deion did get a lot of eyes on us, but he came in and painted this image like he was the savior to HBCUs. Now you said, what was he supposed to do? Interesting. I'm not mad at Deion for taking the job at Colorado. If you want to take that to make more money, fine. It's about how he presented himself. He said, God chose me to come to Jackson State. I want to change the landscape of HBCUs. So if you're saying this, and it's a bunch of other stuff that he said, then that means that you're there for the long haul. You want to see change. He didn't stay long enough to see nothing change shit. He just did what he did in those 2 years and then dipped out. See, the thing is, if it was more of like a noteworthy school, because Colorado was 1-10. If it was a different school, maybe we would have been okay with it. But it's like he hyped everything up and then he just dipped out. And again, I'm not mad at him for taking the opportunity. I'm mad at the way he did it. That just didn't sit well with me. And it didn't sit well with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, it's some people who want him to fail in the PWIs. I don't really give a shit, honestly. That's a black man. He's doing his thing. But it's about Coach Prime. That's what it's been about this whole time. Coach Prime. It is about him. You know, I'm not gonna join in on the white media talking trash about him and wanting him to lose and stuff. I don't care. I want him to win and be successful. All I'm saying is I feel like he exploited HBCUs in his approach. Had Deion came in and said, hey, I'm here to win championships. I'm still going to recruit, do this. HBCUs need to have more light. Yeah, right? But he didn't do that. He gave the preacher type of approach. And then what's worse, I always say this. What people do can be BS, but it's the people that support it and make excuses for it that also have a problem with. All those folks on his nuts, hey, man, do what you want to do, but don't get mad when people like us criticize how he did something. It's not about him. What else was he supposed to do? Go ahead, do what you're supposed to do. It's the way that he did it. If I know that I'm really there to create an opportunity for myself, I'm going to come in, win those championships. Not all the extra aesthetics, not all the extra preaching and all that other stuff. I'm finna come in and do my job, win these championships, and then the first offer that comes to me to get into the PWI realm, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna bullshit with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now, he kept it real, saying that if another offer came on the table, he would do it. You know what I'm saying? But nah, what you say? He didn't stay long enough. In whose eyes, though? I think he served it. No. I'm not saying he should have stayed there forever. Nobody said that. He made a commitment and painted an image that he was trying to save HBCUs. Go look back at the videos that he did. He wanted to be a savior to the city of Jackson. That's how he painted his image. And whose eyes? Our eyes, because that's who he came to, Jackson State. See, a lot of people, and I'm not sure if you attended college or if you did or attended HBCU, it's different from the outside looking in. From the outside looking in, you just see this man who came and did what he did and then left out, created an opportunity and left out. That's not the case with this. You got to look at how he did it. Don't get stuck on what he did, how he did it, and how people like me feel about it. That's what it is. And I think that if you went to a HBCU or specifically Jackson State, you would understand exactly what I was talking about. You know, but a lot of people are going to say, I don't think nothing wrong with what he did. It's the way he did it. Simply put, the way that he did it. I don't like it, and a lot of people don't like the way he did it. So that's why I feel like what Charleston White is saying is true. Let's watch a little bit more of what Charleston said. Is this yeah, right here. Hold up.
To grab the people.
Listen, you don't. HBCU have been existing before. What we've been doing this. People took pride in them. We used to take pride. We used to wear the jackets, the clothes. We didn't wear Duke. We didn't wear UNLV only because we had a culture in a community that promoted HBCU. Shout out to my nigga Bill Cosby. That's why I want to talk to Raven White.
Well, no, I don't want to have that. Okay, yeah, Charleston get to talking crazy. But yeah, I feel him, man. And I mean, I'm not saying that Deion should have stayed there forever. To me, it's about how he did it, what he was promising, all that stuff. That preacher mentality, that preacher approach. So that's how I feel like it was BS on that part. But I feel like he did exploit them for sure. Excuse me. One more thing I wanted to touch on, and I didn't get to talk about this the last time. Why are black women mad at Tyler Perry? And I know this is an old topic. You know, it was last week, but I didn't get a chance to speak on this. Let's look at what Tyler Perry said. First of all, did anybody watch what Tyler Perry said before I share this? This was an interesting topic because it was black women took it as him saying that you should settle. But listen to what Tyler Perry said in this interview. Fair use.
In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money. All I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You can the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to tell you what triggered black women right there. Keywords. Light bill. Light bill. That's all black women heard. Light bill. If he can pay the light bill. Oh my God, only pay the light bill. Now, don't take it literal. That's the only thing he can pay. Tyler Perry is not telling you to settle. You're not settling if you can't even find what you want. If the people that you're seeking, dating, don't want you and you're not successful with it, are you really settling? Or are you meeting somebody that's on your level? See, thing is, we put too much emphasis on money when it comes to dating. In the same, like if I say that as a man, I don't want to date someone who makes more than me. I don't want to make less than my woman. I want to make more than my woman. If I say that, I could be looked at as male chauvinist, misogynistic, I got mommy issues, that type of stuff, right? Toxic masculinity. If I say I don't want a woman, a man should make more money than a woman. I couldn't date a woman that makes more money than me. If I say that, I could be looked at as all those things, misogynistic and all that other stuff, right? But in the same breath, if I say that I don't mind a woman making more than me, I'm good with a woman making more than me. Oh, you ain't no real man then. You see how that works? So which one is it? And this is for the women that were outraged on what Tyler Perry said. All Tyler Perry was doing was giving you some free game. The thing is, if you're in the high earners tax bracket, that means that everybody, and Kevin Samuels always used to talk about this, but everybody's not going to be able to make that type of money. So thing is, if black women are out earning black men, then that means that your dating pool then got even smaller. It's more y'all than us anyway, so your dating pool then got even smaller. So now if you want a man that makes the amount of money you make or more, how do you know that that man wants to date you? Because he's going to start looking maybe on what he has more of an option of what he can get versus you wanting to get a man that makes a certain amount of money. Meaning if you make six figures, you want a man that makes six figures or more. You know what I'm saying? Like, good luck with that. Not saying that it's not obtainable and you can't find it, but you might have issues. The dating pool done got smaller for you. It's already kind of smaller now because it's way more of y'all than us. So he was giving you free game. Try, like, you could date someone if it's for the love. Why does the money matter anyway? Now, I'm not saying I don't agree with the man paying only the light bill, but if he has a stable job, stable income, he's not a bum, he's not trying to live off of you, then why not pay what you pay and he's there to support you? What's wrong with that? That's not settling. That's finding somebody who works for you. And that's what we have to realize. If you're mad about what he said, you're probably not successful dating anyway, because you're not able to find that man. And my question is this. It's like, this is what I don't understand. If you're making that money, meaning that if you're making enough money for you and more, right? Why are you trying to seek a man that makes more money than you? Because if you make six figures and you want him to make $300K a year, that means that he could probably pay for everything. So why are you even working? What are you going to do with that money that you're making? You know what I'm saying? Like, And this is another thing. If you already make that money and you can provide for yourself, why do you need a man's money? What's wrong with you dating someone else that already, because you already have what you need. You know, you don't need the financial support. You just want a man to make more money than you because of what? That don't do y'all see what I'm saying? Go 816. You see what I'm saying with that? Like, a woman makes 100K, but she wants a man to make more than her. Why? If you're already making that money, that means that you make enough for yourself and more. So why does a man's money even matter? Now, I'm not saying a man should live off of you, but what's wrong if you make 100K? What's wrong with that man making 60 or 70K? How come he has to make more than you if you're already taking care of yourself? Now, if your answer is, well, I'll make that money to provide for myself. Okay, why do you want to make that much? Does it take 100K a year for you to provide for yourself? If it does, it is what it is. Some women will say, well, I want to obtain a certain type of lifestyle. Cool. So what's wrong with, if you like to take these expensive, luxurious trips and everything like that, and you find somebody that you're in love with, how come you can't take that man with you if he pays his part? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. Why do you need that? So, okay, you said I've been saying this for years. People focus on everything else but love. I understand people want to be comfortable. You think it's somewhat of it. Yeah, money is overrated. Because at the end of the day, if you're married, and I'm not married, never been married, but I know people who are married. My parents were married at one point. I mean, my dad is married now to my stepmother. And from what I see, their money is their money together. See, when you're married, from my understanding, that money shit don't matter. Once you have them children, that money is going towards them and your family. It ain't finna be about who makes more, whatever. It's about who can contribute. This is us together. Not saying you got to have no joint account and all that other stuff, but that really don't matter. It's about the love. Finances do matter. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, if a man has a career making money, stable income, he has a job or a career, the woman has a job or a career, does it really matter who makes the most if y'all are unified together? For the family, does that shit even matter? Money is definitely overrated, because guess what? You making that money, you could lose that money. What if your company closes and you get laid off? I've been laid off before, and let me tell you, it's not a good feeling at all. You gotta stop working. You don't have no business. You're not in control of your finances. I mean, finances in the thing of like where your check comes from. But jobs could end any day. What if he makes that money and then he falls on hard times? You know what I'm saying? It has to take a lower paying job. What if that happens? You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you want to like, what I see is a lot of women want to live a certain type of lifestyle, which is nothing wrong with that. But I know they want the man to do it too. But does that really matter when it comes to a family? Building a family. Money is important. I'm not saying that it's not. But if the man ain't a bum, what the hell is the problem? Are you successful dating right now? You might need to listen to what Tyler Perry was saying. But anyway, that's been today's episode of Res View. Thank you so much for joining me. Shout out to you, Goat816, for participating, man. Love everything you do as far as retweet. I'll be seeing those retweets on Twitter and stuff. Thank you for the support of the show. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to youtube.com/ResView. Hit that like button for the algorithm. What you say, Goat816? That's issue some. Yeah, it's too independent. Yeah. You already know, man. You already know for sure. I appreciate you for that. Yeah, good show. I appreciate you, man. But everybody, right now, make sure that you share this, or at least it don't cost nothing to hit that like button or the dislike button. At least it gets the algorithm going. Again, subscribe to the channel right there, youtube.com/ResView, and you know where to follow me. Where to follow me is at JAYR3D, not the dash, but at JAYR3D. I got a special announcement coming soon, so be on the lookout for it. New music on the way. But anyway, man, thank y'all for joining me. This is J Red Resview signing out.